Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Mike's Instant Movie Review. Just saw Asphalt City, which is New York City, apparently, according to this film. Intense. Sean Penn plays a fire department, New York, FDNY, Fidney. I've never heard him say it like that, but he says that in the movie, Fidney. And he's got this young partner, kind of Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke type of deal, if you remember that from Training Day. This is somewhat in that ballpark. Penn with a much more understated performance, as one might say. Should you go see it? Should you go not? I think it's a movie worth seeing. It's a drama. However, if you've got a sensitive belly or a sensitive constitution, this is not a horror film, but there's plenty of blood and guts, so take precaution. However, I enjoyed it. So let's talk about it. What's the movie all about, Samsung? Well, you have a young upstart rookie, That's always fun in these films, to have the rookie, because we see the world through the eyes of the rookie. He's in New York City. He's working as FDNY, I guess you'd say, paramedic, emergency paramedic. He's in the truck with the grizzled vet, Sean Penn, who I have to give him credit. He looks the same, like he's looked for 20 years, so Sean Penn's got to be 60-something, and he still looks 40-something. So hashtag whatever. But the movie was good. It's intense. It's a slice of life, a slice of a life, a slice of a career. I couldn't handle it. And so whenever I see, a profession where, I couldn't do that profession. I couldn't do that, or I wouldn't want to. I couldn't. I mean, not only wouldn't want to, but I couldn't. Let's face facts. Just the human interaction, the intensity, the lack of appreciation from you people. I get enough of that doing YouTube. So how am I going to be a fucking emergency EMT, for crying out loud? So we go through all these phases. We see all these intense things. We kind of get to the point with this movie where there's like 3 or 4 or 5 intense situations. There's blood, there's guts, there's intrigue. And we're kind of just waiting, like, okay, eventually something's going to happen where these partners have to make a choice, or someone's going to turn on each other. Now some strangers approaching my vehicle, so I have to be quiet for a moment. I just have to be quiet. So we have to just wait. We know that something's going to happen. Like, we can't just have all these interactions with the good people of New York City. Dare I say the gangbangers, dare I say the drug addicts. We can't just help all these assholes with nothing getting in between me and my partner, right? Something's got to happen to cause a moral divide. I was waiting for it. I had to facilitate, but I made myself, I didn't want to miss the dramatic moment, because when you see movies enough, when there's like a little escape room to go out and come back, and then you're like, I can't leave now because I know that something big's going to happen, and I timed it perfectly. Okay, so what's the crisis? Spoiler. Basically, they get a call. Some lady's been pregnant. They go to the door is locked. Some witness heard screaming. Sean Penn, the elder statesman, kicks the door in, and we see blood on the sheets, blood on the lady. It's a nasty mess. There's a fetus, a child, a baby, freshly born. This woman is in no shape to take care of herself or the child. There's a needle in her arm. There's blood and the placenta, or whatever the fuck. The rope, or whatever, it's the umbilical cord, or whatever the fuck. All types of nasty, disgusting birthing process, body things, fluids. Our buddy there, Sean Penn, Radinsky, I think is the name. They call him Rand, or Ron, or Rand, or Radinsky, takes the baby to another room, this nasty restroom of some kind. And this is where our intrigue starts. So it's all about morality, playing God, perhaps, choices. So interestingly enough, the movie at the end, I stuck around for the end credits, and they did dedicate this film to the hardworking people on the New York. I don't know if it just said New York or every, emergency medical team everywhere. But yes, because it's a film, we need some drama. Did he make a mistake? Did Radinsky not give proper care to this infant and let the infant go to die? Because this other team barges in, and because Penn's characters say, Radinsky's saying, it's a stillborn, baby's dead. And then they take the baby, and lo and behold, the baby's fucking shaking around and stuff. Meanwhile, our young rookie has discovered from the mother of this child, this baby, that she's got AIDS, and she has not been taking the medicine to prevent the baby from getting AIDS, even though she's had it. So the picture that we're being painted, although I was wondering, how would Radinsky, if he's in the room with the child, how does he know that the mother has AIDS? Because I don't think he was there for that reveal, unless I'm coagulating the scene in my mind somehow. So Radinsky made a morality call. He played God, okay? So by the strictest level of the law, protocol, as they would say, you're supposed to just help whoever you can help and not play God. But that's what these gentlemen and women get themselves involved in, because they find themselves in these horrible situations. And Radinsky's Meryl Streep dilemma was, this baby's going to have a terrible life growing up with AIDS. So he was basically going to let this baby die. Okay? So, all these moral dilemmas. Who are you to judge? All that crap. And the two gentlemen kind of get pushed against each other to testify or to give a statement. Interestingly enough, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson, boxing, is in this movie. I don't know why all these assholes give Mike Tyson all these roles. I mean, sure, you could give Lennox Lewis, who was never convicted of rape, a role, or Evander Holyfield, but everyone feels the need to give Mike Tyson all this work in film. Strange industry, assholes. But anyway, so Tyson is actually fine in the role. It's just he sticks out because, he's Mike Tyson. But he's playing like the chief or the whatever, the captain or whatever the fuck. Who else? I think Michael Pitt was like the third lead, I guess you'd say, like kind of the loose cannon guy. Is that Brad Pitt's younger brother? All these things. There was some guy, some actor that it's bothering me because I kept thinking that fucking asshole was this actor that I was thinking of, but it's not. So the guy I was thinking of, his name is on the... It's blonde guy, always smiling. I want to say Jay something. I'm trying to think, was he in the Kevin Smith movies? Or he seems like he's a guy that was around in the 80s and 90s and always smiling and like played a jock or whatever the fuck. I don't know who I'm thinking of. Not Michael C. Hall or Michael Anthony Hall. Not him. Just some other asshole. Some blonde fuck. Always smiling in a movie. And always kind of like the flippant good guy or like the asshole bad guy. I can't think of who the fuck I'm thinking of. I could see his fucking smiling face in my mind's eye, but I can't think of a movie that he was in that I can express to you that would help me remember this fuck. For Christ's sakes. Anyway, not Jay Moore. Why were you thinking Jay Moore? Maybe it was Jay Moore. Anyway, good movie, intense. Like I said, once you see this movie, you're not going to want to see another movie right after. It has to settle, it has to simmer in the stew that is your mind. And like I said, when the movie started, I mean, I was having a little bit of Training Day flashbacks, and I felt like there was another movie that kind of was like this. Like, this is not the most unique movie. You're thrown into the grittiness of New York City. Gritty. And I think that New York City is really an interesting place. It's not a place that I particularly care to be, no offense to all my Mike Messier fans in New York City. It's just a little too intense for me. It's too much on 12, okay? I need like 6. It's just too intense. There's too many people, for Christ's sakes. I mean, look at all the lack of people where I am right now. You never get this in New York City. There's always some asshole doing some bullshit in New York City. How about that for a state motto or a city motto? I don't think I like cities that are named after the state they're in. I don't think I like that. Oh, New York City, New York. Okay. A little presumptuous. If you've ever met people from New York City, they always say shit like this. Oh, I'm from the city. Which city, asshole? Oh, there's only one city in their fucking mind. Because once you're in New York City, oh, now you're in the city. Oh, Poughkeepsie, Los Angeles, Chicago, those aren't the cities. New York City is the city. Oh, well, fine fucking how do you do? So I don't care for New York City people who think that their precious little city is the only city in the world. It might be the city that smells like rat piss, okay? But it's not the only city in the goddamn world. I don't know. It might be the city where you can play human chess with the homeless people, but it's not the only city in the world, okay? So anyway, not a big fan of New York City. I've had some good experiences there. I saw Eric Bogosian, one-man show. I saw the movie Kids in New York City. I saw a Yankees baseball game that they lost. I saw at the new stadium, MetLife, I suppose. I've seen all types of things in New York City, but like once a fucking again, it's an intense place, and I don't need that intensity in my life, okay? I mean, driving through, God. I mean, I'll drive through it. I mean, the best thing about driving through it is eventually you get to leave. You know what I mean? Not that I feel bad for the people, but I know a lot of people who love it. You know, I've always wanted to live in New York City. Okay, here you fucking go. You know, doesn't do it for me, folks. Just being honest. But Asphalt City, I mean, at the same time, it is a cinematic place, because the fuckers like me who live in other cities, not the city, we get to watch the movies and say, God, I'm glad I don't live there. If you ever saw La La Land, 7 or 8 or 9 years ago with Emma, what's her face, Emma Smith, or Emma this, Emma that, the opening scene of the people stuck in traffic and they're all singing about it, that's kind of where LA is at now. So I like LA. If I had to choose, if I had my Statue of Liberty with the fucking whatever the fuck, the weights or whatever the fuck, the Lady of Justice or the blind Lady of Choice or whatever the fuck she is, I would choose LA, okay? However, what I do kind of like about New York City is the sports fans. I like the sports talk radio. I like the anger. I like the slice of pizzas. I like the occasional pretzel. I like the vendors. So there are things in New York City that I like. I do respect the hustle to an extent. I just feel like it's just New York City is too much of New York City. It needs to be scaled back a tinge. Just turn the knob down a little bit, okay? Dick Clark's rocking New Year's Eve. Things from Madison Square Garden. Mark Messier, New York Rangers, welcome, okay? Messier, strong. So I don't hate New York City. I just wouldn't want to live there, okay? Anyway, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, Asphalt City. I give it, out of, shit. I might give it 3 3/4 of a star out of 5. I really did think it, I think this movie is about as well made as you can make this movie. It's just how much can you handle. Go to MikeMessier.com, scroll to the bottom. You can stand me on social. You can buy one of my books. That might be nice of you. Instead of just telling me it's how great I write books, actually buy one. Or buy some of my art, or do something else.